Salutations readers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nkechi, and for today I'm giving y'all a reading challenge vlog. So the last time I did a reading challenge vlog, it was obviously a failure. But this one I feel like is going to be easier to do because it's not going to be doing page count. This is just going to be a matter of the amount of time I'm reading. So I've been noticing that I definitely have been on my phone a lot more often lately, and I don't really like that. I don't think that's really helpful for me mentally, and it also doesn't help the fact that, when I am reading, despite the fact that I do use my phone when I am like listening to audiobooks and stuff. But anyways, the point is I definitely spend a lot of time on my phone. So I figured, why not make a reading challenge? What I see a lot of times here on booktube where people swap their screen time with reading time. I want to give this one a shot since I've never tried it before. I was like, okay, I think we could go by the amount of time I am spending reading, because I'm not really sure how much I do actually spend on reading unless I'm using the Libby for audiobooking. But other than that, I don't really know how much time I really am spending on reading, especially since for more often than not, I don't usually just sit down and just read for a certain amount of time. Sometimes I'm just like doing other things or whatever. So I figured, let's just do a reading challenge like this. So the way that my phone goes though, for some reason, it doesn't, when it does like the screen time stuff, it doesn't go Monday through Sunday, it goes Sunday through Saturday, and I hate that. So I took a screenshot from last week's average, and it seemed about 4.5 hours, which is definitely a lot lower than I usually am. For me, it's like 6-7 hours averaging out on a week, which is a lot of time on the phone. So thankfully, at least last week was a little bit less. And then I also took some individual screenshots of like each day that I spent on my phone and stuff, and to the looks of it here, looks like the Monday is the highest, but it looks like I spend less and less time as the week went by. But for the first day, I'm going to be reading for about 7.5 hours. That's the goal, which is a lot of hours to read. But I did wake up early. It is literally nearly 9 a.m. So yeah, let's just get started. So I do have ideal goals for each day, and then we'll just see on how that goes. Now, as far as what I plan to read, I definitely have a lot. And I mean, I have several options, not just for the things I'm currently reading, but books that I really want to get into. I have ALC's arcs and stuff that I really need to start/finish. I have library books I want to start/finish. And then there's books I have in my physical TBR that I want to get through since they're still in the Asian readathon. So yeah, my goal is to get through a lot of books. I'm hoping to get through like 3 or 4 books. We shall see. The most I can ever get through in a week is 3. We shall see if I can get through, like, more than that. But I won't be surprised if I don't. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's just get the reading challenge started. So I'm gonna talk to y'all either later on today or early tomorrow on today's progress. Salutations, y'all. It's later on today, the same day, so it's Monday, and I have officially read for 7.5 hours. Well, 7 hours, 29 minutes, give or take. The point is, I've completed the amount of reading for today, and I definitely have to split it up throughout the day, so I didn't read for like 7.5 hours straight because I just can't really do that. But I did finish 2 books. I did finish 2 books today, but I'm gonna start with the book that I read more of. I didn't really finish because it's on the Kindle and things. So on my Kindle, I continued my read of Lost Ark Dreaming by Suyi Davis Okumboa. It's an arc. It's a sci-fi novella thanks to Tor.com. Comes out actually next week. So May 21st. And this is like a climate fiction futuristic sci-fi novel set in Nigeria, and like we're dealing with the rising of sea levels. So there is like these units of towers in Nigeria where if you're in certain levels, you're above the sea level and stuff, so you get to see the sun, beaches, all that stuff. Like if you're up there in the towers and stuff, you're definitely like the richest people because like it's expensive to live up that high. And if you're still in the tower, but then you're underneath, it's because you cannot afford to go up there. So yeah, very much capitalistic, but it's also climate fiction, very much dystopian and futuristic. So yeah, having a good time with that. So I only made it to like 13%, not too far, but I am having a pretty good time with this one, and I like the writing, and I think the world's cool. So yeah, that's all my thoughts so far on Lost Ark Dreaming. Now let's talk about the 2 books that I finished today. So the first book I finished today was 4 Eats and a Funeral, which is co-written by Fride Abike Yeminde and what was the other name? Adiba Jagaridar. I think that's how you pronounce the author's last name. I got an advanced listening copy for this book thanks to Macmillan Audio because I'm actually a 2024 Macmillan Audio influencer. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I got to choose out of a selection of books, and I chose 4 Eids and a Funeral because I've read Frida Ebike-Yemende's debut novel, Ace of Spades, and I think I've heard about this author, but then I saw the author's other works, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of you before. So I don't know, I was kind of curious about this one since it's like, especially with the title, 4 Eids and a Funeral. So this is a story following Tiwa and Saeed, who are ex-best friends who end up having to work together so that they can save this Islamic community center that was caught on fire, but then the mayor of this small town wants to pretty much demolish it for some housing stuff, which is like, bro, seriously. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of like the plot, and there's some other stuff going on, especially regarding to repair their friendship so they can, you know, turn into friends again, but also lovers, since this is a romance. And I did like it. I didn't really love it as much, honestly. I think as a romance, it's kind of, their romance is fine, but honestly, I was more invested in the fact of that they were friends and what led up to them splitting up. So I was really here for more like repairing a friendship, not really them getting romantically together. So for a romance, it's definitely not the best thing to think about when you finish a romance book, but I digress. I do think the narrators, because there are 3 narrators, one for Tiwa's perspective, one for Saeed's perspective, and there was one that kind of did like what happened in like a particular Eid and another Eid and all that stuff. So I was like, okay. I like the fact there were more than one narrator. I did like the fact it was dual POV, so that was really good. However, I don't know, I just felt like there was definitely a point I was definitely enjoying my time with it. I think the first half, I was definitely intrigued. I definitely was a good time. But then the second half, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Especially regarding the plot. Like, we had to figure out more than one way to, like, save the Islamic community center. And then we also found out what led to them splitting up and, like, pretty much breaking up as, like, friends and stuff. And when we found that part out, I was kind of looking at them like, I was surprised. I gotta say, I was surprised by that twist. I didn't see that coming. However, when we actually found more explanation regarding that twist as to how they no longer became no longer friends, I was kind of thinking to myself like, I don't know how I feel about that explanation, honestly. I feel that's kind of a bit dumb. And then I don't feel like the characters were mad long enough. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just I don't know. It wasn't handled terribly, but I also don't particularly love it either. I have complicated feelings about it, honestly. But the book comes out June 4th, in less than a month, but still, I don't know. It's 3-star. I think I will recommend it to like a teen audience. This is YA romance, but like, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, I feel like we were losing the plot a little bit. I was kind of losing it, so yeah, it was kind of a little bit disappointing, but not terrible. That was 4 Eids and a Funeral. And then I finally read another book for my Asian readathon TBR. And it is Squire. I finally finished reading this graphic novel. I literally finished it like, what was it? About 15-ish minutes ago. But I really had a good time with this, y'all. So this is a YA fantasy graphic novel where we follow, Isa, who wants to become a squire so she can become a knight to become a hero. But then she gets into training things and she finds out about how this empire and the war and all the things is not what she choked up what she thought it was going to be. And yeah, it was just a very good story regarding history, successors, on what you can do to combat the people who are not doing things with justice. Honestly, a lot of the themes really reminded me of like Fullmetal Alchemist, and like thematically, because as far as the fantasy part, it's not similar to Fullmetal Alchemist, but it does really remind me though of Fullmetal Alchemist regarding like Ed and Al's journey, but not specifically in regards really about their journey, but there is some overlapping similarities. And also with like the author and the illustrator's notes and like the acknowledgements and stuff, it's pretty clear that they have there definitely are fans like with anime and stuff. In particular, I think the illustrator Sarah Alfaghi is a fan of Fullmetal Alchemist, so I could definitely tell. Honestly, I can tell. And I don't know, this was just really, really good. It's well paced, well executed in the writing, very much really well drawn. I really had a good time with the illustrations, especially with like how detailed it is, but also like certain character expressions. It was just really, really good. So yeah, if you're here for like a YA fantasy adventure and a graphic novel, then I highly recommend reading Squire if you haven't read it already. Really, really good. First 5 stars of the month, and I'm happy about that. But anyways, that's it. That's all my updates for day 1. So yeah, I started off pretty good. So we'll see about tomorrow. Let me check. Great. For Tuesday, I have to read 5 hours and 14 minutes. Well, I do have options to read for tomorrow. Hopefully to finish another book. But at least tomorrow, I don't have to read for as long. So maybe I can update y'all sooner. But anyways, I will definitely talk to you all tomorrow. Alright, y'all. So it is Tuesday. It's nearly quarter to 10 p.m. and I did manage to do my 5 hours and 15 minutes today. It was kind of more of a struggle. I think I was starting to get a little bit tired of reading a lot more sooner than I thought. Also, I did wake up later than I thought too. So, I don't know. I was definitely starting to feel like, okay, I'm kind of tired of reading. So, we shall see. I'm going to still persevere though for the rest of the week. So, I did manage to finish one book, which I figured, but I was not able to finish another book. In fact, I did DNF another book. So let's actually talk about the book I finished, and that is Wind Among Crows by Veronica Roth. Yes, that's the same Veronica Roth that wrote Divergent. And now, I was one of the peoples as a teenager who did try to read Divergent, but I definitely DNF the series after I tried to watch the movies as well. Yeah, so I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about this. The book came out today, but I did get an advanced audiobook copy from Macmillan Audio, again as a Macmillan Audio influencer. Thanks Macmillan Audio for that. And I actually had a pretty good time with this. So this is a novella, so it's about 4.5 hours long. So this is an adult contemporary fantasy novel set in Chicago that's pretty much steeped into Slavic folklore, family history and burdens, repentance, atonement. It was just really interesting thematic. I don't want to say too much on the actual plot, because if I talk too much about it, it's too spoilery. So yeah, honestly, I didn't really know too much about what the plot was about. I just saw the cover, it looked interesting, and I saw Veronica Roth's name on the cover. I was like, you know what, I'm curious. So yeah, it was more just like a cover read for me. So I actually don't know the synopsis, and I can't talk too much about what the book is about other than that, because it's so short. But yeah, I think that the themes were explored and handled pretty well. I like the writing style in here as well. From Divergent to like this book, sheesh. I mean, then again, Divergent came out in like the 2010s, but still, leaps and bounds. I literally have not read anything by Veronica Roth since Divergent and trying to read Insurgent. It's been that long, y'all. So it was just really nice to just read from her now as an adult with an adult novel, and as well that's like fantasy instead of trying to be dystopian. But yeah, I think it handled really well. It took me a little bit to get used to, since like I really am not familiar with Slavic folklore or anything like that. Except for like the mention of Baba Yaga. I've only heard Baba Yaga because of like pop culture, really. But other than that, yeah, I think it was handled pretty well. I like the writing. I actually like the characters. There was also like a romance between two characters, which like I didn't really see coming as a development. But I feel like if I did a reread of it, I think I would have seen the signs a lot more. And also I didn't like hate it either. I think it was still a fine enough romance. So yeah, if you're looking for that, there's there too. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. There's 3 narrators for the 3 characters we're following. I think it's mostly on one main character, but we do get perspectives on these other characters. But yeah, there's enough of character development between all 3 of them. I just do recommend giving this book a shot. It is novella, so not very long, and I think the themes and topics explored in here fits for this length. So yeah, 4.25 stars. Not an all-time favorite, but it was a really good book, and I think it handled everything just well. Anyways, let's get to the book that I DNF'd, and unfortunately it's a library book. Actually, a book I was really looking forward to seeing if I would like, but unfortunately I was just pretty bored. And that is Thunderbird, Book 1 by Sonia Namir, and it's translated by M. Links Kowali. Yes, so this is originally written in Arabic, translated to English, and I was really looking forward to this because, first of all, it's like middle grade YA. It's like very much older middle grade to like really young YA, since like the main character is like 13 years old. But it's supposed to be a first book in a trilogy, which unfortunately is not even finished, even though this book and its sequel came out in 2022. It's literally not even finished, so that's disappointing. But also the fact that like, it's definitely fast paced, but I don't know. I thought I'd be more hooked into this story, but really I was just bored. I was like, okay, this is fine, sure, typical things you would see, and I'm bored. I think it probably would have gotten interesting if I just kept on going, but I really was not intrigued enough. I literally stopped at like page 40. I'm sorry, I'm bored. I might try this again in the future, but as of right now, I'm just bored. I have no interest. And maybe if the trilogy actually is completed, I might actually come back to it. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if this is like middle grade fantasy. I don't know. I actually had a whole bunch of genre tags, honestly. Fantasy, historical, magical realism, sci-fi. I was like, what in the world? It had a lot of genre tags, which I'm like kind of confused by. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, I was just kind of bored. I was like, I'm not really interested enough to kind of find out why my main girl here starts like setting things on fire accidentally without touching it or anything, sparking it. It's like, huh? So I don't know. I don't really care for it, unfortunately. So yeah, but then I had some time left because I was like, dang, what am I gonna read? I really thought I was gonna be able to like finish this, but nope, I DNF'd it. So I was like, okay, well, what else should I read then? So I decided to continue my read of Lost Ark Dreaming, and I got to like 30%, and this one's getting really interesting. There's definitely a lot more to the plot here, because apparently it seems like there's like a breach into like this tower place, and it looks like they call them the children, which pretty much like the children of like this Yoruba water deity. But this deity is like, has like these, they call it the children because they seem to kill humans. They're very much like fish-like, frog-like, but also like human-like. It's very, very odd. They don't really know what they really look like or what they can do. But it seems like there could be possibly a breach, and the evidence is definitely stacked up against saying like, yeah, this is it. So yeah, we're definitely getting much thicker in the plot there, and it's definitely very, very interesting. So yeah, I'm here for it. I really do also like the writing. I also kind of like the way that it's also structured too, because we do get these like multiple POVs from like 3 different people from their own different experiences in regards to like the levels and stuff for this one tower. But we also get like these file reports as well, like kind of in succession in regard to like the events of this tower, whether it's the history of the tower, or reports of like these children of like this Yoruba water deity. So yeah, honestly, it was just really, really, it's very, very interesting. I definitely want to read more of it. So I think I'm going to read more of this arc after I'm done with this clip. I mean, I could honestly save it for tomorrow, but honestly, I want to read more of it because I'm just really intrigued. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all my thoughts for today. That's all the updates. So for tomorrow, let's see, how much time do I need to read for tomorrow? So for Wednesday, I need to read 3 hours and 58 minutes. I'm just going to round that up to like 4 hours. So yeah, that'll be my goal. But tomorrow, though, I do, not only will I be doing some reading, though, I do need to do some editing because I really want to get another video up for this week. So at least to give myself a break from reading, at least I can do some editing as well, and I'll also be out the house as well. So kind of like change of environment to really see, like maybe I can revitalize and do some more reading, because I don't know. I don't want to start burning out of reading right now when I only read 3 books and DNF'd 1. I want to read more. That's what this challenge is for, is for me to be reading more. And I want to be finishing more books. So that's the goal. But anyways, I will definitely talk to you all tomorrow on my updates for Wednesday. Salutations, y'all. It is Wednesday. It's like 11 p.m. at night. I don't like the fact that I took this long for me to read about 4 hours. I went to a coffee shop this morning because I wanted to edit a video and just chill there. So I edited a video. But then once I was done with editing the video, did I start reading my book? Or any other book? No. Even though I brought books with me, I brought my Kindle and I brought a couple of other physical books, I didn't read nothing. So I pretty much started my reading for today later than I would like, unfortunately. But it's fine. I managed to read the 3 hours and 58 minutes today. And, well, I do have some updates. One, I DNF'd Dear Wendy by Anne Zhao. Yes. I talked about this in my reading sprints because I also had reading sprints today. I talked about it, how the book is so boring. It's a YA queer contemporary following 2 Arrow Ace college students, which is very rare and almost to damn near just unheard of, at least for me, in a traditionally published book. I can't say, I mean, there's probably some other traditionally published books out there featuring 2 Arrow Ace main characters. Maybe. If so, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all came across any books like that. But this is the first time I've ever tried to read a book featuring 2 Arrow Ace main characters. And unfortunately, it was so boring. And also the Arrow Ace rep is still fine, but it's very much giving Arrow Ace rep 101. Like, it's meant for people who are, like, new to it. So to be, like, so they kind of, like, explains, like, oh, you know, if, like, you don't know what it is kind of thing. And I'm just, like, I'm kind of getting tired of trying to explain what it means to be Arrow Ace. Like, I get it. Can we please move on? But of course, it's a YA queer contemporary, so, like, you know, it's meant for everyone, especially teenagers who are not aware, which is fine. It's fine to have stories like that, but I'm tired of these stories, especially for any Arrow Ace prep. It's like, can we please move on from these kind of stories? Please, it's boring. So while that is disappointing, what's also disappointing is the fact that these two college students, they pretty much run like these dating advice accounts, and they're having some online beef with each other, and I'm just like, this is some petty ass stupid shit that I would expect in high school. You're in college right now. Like, why are we doing this? This is so stupid. I mean, granted, they're in their second semester of their freshman year. However, I feel like we should be like past this anyways. It's just so dumb. I think I DNF'd it. Oh yeah, I DNF'd it at 28%. Which is so sad. This was like one of my most anticipated releases because of the fact we had 2 Arrow Ace people that we get to follow. And I was thinking like, maybe I could just keep going. Maybe it gets better, but I don't know. Also though, the characters made some really weird comments throughout. Just more small, very short, quick, subtle moments that's like really was weird. I was like, I don't like these comments that they made. I didn't like it at all, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother. So yeah, that's just a hard DNF, and it's unfortunate because the second DNF this vlog, unfortunately. But then, as speaking of DNFs, I actually went back to a book that I did previously DNF, and I did mention this in my, I think I did mention this in my Q1 DNF wrap up, because I did DNF originally The Last Fee Hunter by Selene Goldenberg. I didn't DNF my E-Arc because I was getting really bored, my head was hurting, and it was putting me into a reading slump. So I decided to just place a hold on the audiobook since the book already came out, and I finally got a hold of the audiobook. And I'm definitely indeed enjoying the audiobook way more than my ebook reading experience, honestly. So I'm about actually a third of the way through already. So that's actually really, really good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just in an audiobook mood right now and maybe reading my Kindle. But yeah, I've had a better time with this one for sure. The writing style is definitely not what I prefer, but like, it's not terrible. It does give me like debut novel syndrome regarding the writing style, but it's not the worst kind of it. It's definitely tolerable, at least. Not amazing, but tolerable. I'm continuing on reading with it, but yeah, so far I like it. I'm definitely enjoying it way better. So yeah, I'm just giving y'all here a quick update because honestly, I am tired. I want to go to bed. So I'm going to update y'all for tomorrow. I'm supposed to read for 3 hours and 57 minutes, so it's just a minute less than today, which is not much of a difference, honestly. But I'm definitely just going to continue on listening to The Last Fee Hunter. I'm glad that I'm at least interested in it. Who knows, maybe I'll even finish the book tomorrow. I don't know, but that's probably me. That's just me being a little bit ambitious. I'm definitely going to talk to y'all tomorrow. Hopefully not as late. Good gosh. Salutations, y'all. It is Thursday evening, actually. It's literally 7 p.m. So I'm updating. I get to talk about my reading progress a little bit earlier, finally. And it's interesting, too, because I actually, not only did I read the required time for today, but I actually went overboard because I just figured, you know what, let me just finish this. So I did continue reading The Last Fee Hunter. I just end up finishing it because I was like, well, there'll be time left over of the book. Why push that till tomorrow's progress when I could just finish that today? So that's what I did. I finished it today. And I really should not have bothered, I don't think. Not quite that I regret it, but in the sense of, my thoughts and opinions when I stopped reading this book at, what was it, I think 26%? They did not change. Really fucking disappointing. I'm like, I thought to myself, damn, I think I'm gonna give this book like probably 2 stars if I end up just continue on like this with it probably reading slump, or even worse, I might even give it 1.5. And now I'm just like, those thoughts and opinions did not really change when I listened to the audiobook. Granted, I was able to get through the book via audio. The audiobook, the narrator did a pretty good job, at least with the narration. It was just the story itself that was like, I felt like it needed to be just, there was left to be desired here. I will say that the saving grace with this book was the world building. Personally, I did not find this book having a really complex world building. even though there is a lot of stuff, a lot of detail to know about, especially since if you're not familiar with like the mythology, sure, it might seem like a lot, but for me, I read enough fantasy books of worlds and mythologies that I'm not really aware of, that I'm just like, it's not too much for me. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. I don't find it though to be like the most well developed, but it's developed enough. I do have some questions about certain things that I think are left unanswered, but I think maybe that could just be up for interpretation kind of thing. So fine, whatever. World building at least is decent enough. I'm intrigued enough with the world. My problem though is, well, first off, let's go with the writing and pacing, because the writing style wasn't bad. I don't think it's bad, but it definitely gives me debut novel syndrome of writing. Not quite. There is definitely some telling versus showing, especially since, like, for the most part, this book is in X's perspective. However, we do get some perspective chapters from other people's perspectives. However, despite the fact we have glimpses of these other characters, we don't have glimpses of characters I think we should have way more, they actually should have, like, perspectives on. First off, there is no perspective chapters for Arenya, which I'm like, that's his love interest. She should have had some perspective chapters. That makes no damn sense to me on how she did not get one. I don't understand this. Where? Why? Who thought that was an okay narrative choice? Anyways, moving on from that. Yes, I'm using a Tombow brush pen because I have emotions and I need to use something. So here we are. So there's that. And also I feel like there's some pacing issues, which I do tend to notice a lot with debut novels. I mean, it happens even with well-seasoned authors, but there is a certain pacing issue that I tend to see with a lot of debut novels regarding, I feel like we start off the gate pretty strong a little bit, we feel a bit meandering in the middle, and then we really rush the ending, and I'm just like, seriously? And also, I did feel like the story dragged out, like the actual scope of the narrative, I think was stretched out too much to the point that I felt like the plot itself was not strong enough to really handle this book being this long. Like, the audiobook is 12 hours, and I think if you get like a physical / ebook copy, it's like 400 pages, which is solid enough page length for a adult fantasy. However, I think a story like this could have just been better as like a novella, on the longer side of novella, maybe like something that's like 180 something pages novella. I think a narrative like this would have fit in a shorter amount of time, but then again, I don't know if the author has like a strong writing style to really work with that, especially with a lot of the telling and showing. Like, you can't do all this telling. It would be a lot more egregious of telling versus showing if it was shorter. So, but really though, we really could have had it shorter. And also the last 20%, there's like solid like quarter of this book, I was kind of looking like what the fuck are we doing here? Like, I really wasn't understanding how we get to certain thing towards the end, and I'm like, huh? Very confused. We were doing too much. This book could have been a lot shorter. Maybe since it's 400 pages, maybe it could have been 100 pages shorter. I don't know. Maybe condense it to like around 300 pages-ish. So writing, pacing, definitely not the best here. Characters. I have problems with characters. X is very much immature and cocky, and I don't like cocky characters who are immature. I don't like that. Immaturity and cockiness and arrogance with your ego, that's not a good combo for me as a reader with a main character, and especially with male main characters for some reason. So he's very annoying, honestly. I found him to be very, very annoying. There are moments when I feel like he's endearing, but for the most part, he's just a freaking annoying. And Arenya, I actually expected a little bit more from Arenya, honestly. Like, she's older than X, however, sometimes when they talk to each other, it's very much giving, like, okay, are you guys in your, like, late teens, maybe even early 20s to stretch it? Like, X is, like, 24, and Arenya is at least 8 years older than him, so she's definitely, like, her early 30s. But the maturity level of these characters are not helping. I don't like it at all. And for Arenya, she's definitely not really annoying as, like, X, but she's not fully developed character either. In fact, she really confuses me as a character. She's very much wishy-washy in certain things. I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on with you. And there are certain scenes with these two that really, really irritated me. There's actually one particular scene where, is this a spoiler? Well, it's not really a spoiler in bearings in the plot, but it is a little bit more detail. So if you don't care for this, skip ahead. I don't really know timestamps. Editing me will figure that out. But there was this one scene where X got hurt from something and she saved him from this altercation, and to thank him for saving her life and stuff, she wants to pretty much give him head. But then he was kind of saying no, even though he has his own personal reasons for why. He didn't feel like it's the right thing to do, because like, you know, he saved her, but also trying to save her, you know, trying to help her, but also like, you're not really obligated to do it, but she's like, you know, she wants to, but also that there's something magically going on though with regard to her coochie area, because she's actually the consort to this prince guy who had this like sorcerer person put some sort of like magical warren thing so that she cannot have sex with any other man or anyone just going up in her coochie like that, or else something gonna happen to his dick. So X knows this. He figured this out. However, he doesn't tell her for some weird reason, and Arena gets mad when he refuses to have sex with her, which is really weird. I don't like that. But then he starts to say something he says a really misogynistic thing, which therefore she finally gets off him. But I'm like, did we really need to say a misogynistic thing for him to say, like, for you to understand that no, he doesn't want to have sexual intercourse with you? Like, girl, please. Yeah, I think we're done with spoilers now. But yeah, that entire scene between X and Arena really pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, why did we do that? That was a really weird scene. And also there was another scene. Okay, this one is kind of spoilery too, so I don't know. Timestamp, do some, I don't know, y'all. Skip ahead if you don't care. I mean, skip ahead if you do care about spoilers, but keep watching if you don't care. So there was another scene regarding this like demon who is trying to reach like enlightenment so that they can turn back to be like more of a human and stuff. And while they're in their demon form, like Arena is literally like butt ass naked, pretty much like this demon person was like in a really sexually assaulty kind of way. It was really weird sexual assaulty kind of like scene, and it really made me uncomfortable. And I'm like, I feel like this demon person was really not really called out well. I mean, like, it was, I don't know, the situation itself I don't think was handled to the certain severity that I think it should have. It definitely there was a reaction to it, for sure, especially on X's part when he found out, but I don't think Arena herself interpreted the scene how I interpreted it, so she didn't really react to the situation in the right way either. So yeah, I don't know how to explain. I don't want to trigger anyone, but yeah, it's very much sexually assaulty. So yeah, but yeah, there was a very sexually assaulty kind of scene, and I really did not appreciate quite how it was really particularly handled. It was really icky. Oh gosh, I didn't like that scene at all. So yeah, this book is pretty much a mess. I don't even know why I bothered. I mean, I wanted to give the book a chance since I did get it as an e-arc, and I did tell myself, I was like, you know, let me see if I can just try it via audio. And while I did prefer like listening to this book, I don't think this was a good book regardless. All this to say that I did not enjoy my time with The Last 500. Unfortunately, I want to give this book a shot, but no, this was not really, I don't think this was a good debut novel. It's very much fine as like a fantasy book, but like I have too many problems with the book itself, so it's a 2-star. Yep, that's all my thoughts on The Last 500, unfortunately. Let's hope that for this upcoming weekend, oh dear, oh my gosh, I think I just looked really, man, I look like white as a sheet for a second. What in the world? Anyways, all this to say, I'm hoping that for the weekend, we'll probably get some better reads. I'm hoping to finish 2 more books in the next few days. So for tomorrow, for Friday, it's 4 hours and 4 minutes. And I don't really have any audiobooks to listen to, so this can be either physical reading or ebook reading. So basically this weekend, I'm reading with my eyeballs. Let's see how that works though. Let's hope for some better reads. We're doing pretty good for the most part, and then we just end up with this dud. So hoping for tomorrow for some better reading. Salutations, y'all. It is Friday. It's nearly 10 p.m. and I did manage to read the entire time. It was a little slow going, honestly. I was getting a little bit tired, but I did manage to read a lot of time for today, and I finished a book. I actually finished reading an e-arc here on my Kindle. It was Lost Ark Dreaming by Sui Davis Okumboa. This comes out May 21st, so it's actually coming out pretty soon. I think by the time this video goes up, it'll be around when the book is out, probably. Anyways, it's a speculative fiction, climate sci-fi, well, not quite sci-fi, but it's definitely speculative fiction, futuristic, Nigeria. And it's a novella. It's another story work from this author. And actually, I've never really read anything from this author, except for my one attempt to read, I think, his debut novel. But anyways, the point is that this is a speculative novella. It takes place in a futuristic Nigeria where pretty much the world is literally underwater, and we have these islands of towers where if you live in a certain level, you can be, if you're in the highest level, you know, you're definitely way farther away from like the water. From the middle, it's like, you're kind of close to the water, and then the lower is where you're like practically underwater. But then there's like this breach of like where possibly a child, one of the children of like this Yoruba deity, comes in, but breaches, and we follow like 3 characters who are pretty much trying to solve this breach and stuff. And yeah, it's actually pretty good, actually. It's actually really good. I'm still not quite totally sure on my rating or even my review right now, but I think it's gonna be around like a 4 or 4.5. Maybe just settle on a 4.25, who knows. But it's definitely around there. It's at least a 4, but no higher than 4.5. But this was really good. I like the writing. I definitely like on how Okumbowa like wrote this futuristic world of like where there's such high levels of sea rising, and especially regarding to like the relation of Nigeria. Like we even get excerpts of like reports and transcript case files and stuff of like life in Nigeria before, like when these towers were being developed and stuff. It's very, very well thought out, I have to say. I definitely like the themes that the author was trying to explore regarding, well, not just overpopulation, and how as humans we have definitely made life much harder for sure, especially in regards to greed and capitalism, because of course if you're the most privileged, you're the one that's closest to the highest of towers, and if you're not, well, you're definitely in the lower, and then you get the short end of the stick. But there's definitely a hopefulness to the story as well, even though in the end it's not quite clear on where things will go, but I feel like it has a somewhat of a hopeful ending. So yeah, if you're a fan of like The Deep by River Solomon, then this is a novella I will also recommend to you, because both of those works are novellas and they both have pretty similar themes and also have like a pretty similar creature, especially regarding the Yoruba deity. I think it's Yemoja, the water goddess or something, goddess of water and the sea. Their particular interpretations regarding this deity I think is really, really cool, and I really like on how Okumbowa handles this deity and relates to like his own world and way of version of Nigeria. I think it's a solid 4. It's not like my favorite thing in the world or anything. I still prefer The Deep over this one if I really had to compare and contrast, but it's still a pretty good book though, and I would definitely read more from this author. So thanks to Tor.com for gifting me an e-arc. That's pretty much it. That's the only thing I try to read and I managed to finish today. So I do have 2 more days for this vlog, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to read because I only have time honestly to finish 1 more book. But yeah, that's all my updates for today. And for tomorrow, tomorrow's actually going to be the shortest reading time day. It's only 3 hours and 14 minutes, which is like not really long. I do hope that I'll be able to update y'all sooner, but hey, maybe if I end up just reading longer, who knows? Maybe I'll have more of an update, but I don't know yet. I don't know. I'll let y'all know though if whatever I decide, but I'm hoping that I do end up starting Dragon Fruit. Yeah, I'll update y'all tomorrow. Salutations, y'all. It is Saturday, and I did do some reading today. However, I did not start my timer because I am doing some simultaneous vlogging, so I was reading a book for that vlog. So I don't think I'm gonna show y'all the book because like that video, I don't think the vlog will come out before this one, but which is fine. But like I did do some reading. I did a lot of reading because I literally was reading past midnight till like 6 a.m. So I think I have read the required reading and more. However, I didn't time it, so I don't know if I should count it, but I did some reading, okay? And the thing is, I can't really talk about the book because this is already a vlog for it, so I just need to do updating for that vlog for itself. But point is, reading was done. I can't talk about it, and I'm just here in my bed. So this is my bed with my stuffed animals, so I'm squishing. But yes, actually, I forgot. I have a Stitch plushie now. I'm very happy about that. Okay, camera, please focus. Please focus. I know this is weird, but please focus. So, yeah, reading was done. Can't really say much on the book itself because that's for something else. So, all this to say is that I have debated if I should just end the vlog today or not. Okay, stop! I'll go out of focus, damn it, camera. Oh my gosh, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Focus, please. I'm right here. Okay, nope. Okay, we're still figuring this out? Okay. Okay, yep. Alright, this is gonna get really irritating. Okay, anyways, I am planning to do 1 more day for this vlog, so I am taking this through the entire week. even if this camera does not want to focus. Anyways, the point is I am taking this to Sunday, so we do have one more day for this vlog. And tomorrow I need to read for 4 hours and a minute. So hopefully for tomorrow I can actually talk about the book I'll be reading, because I still have to read that read the book for its own dedicated reading vlog. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's why I have been doing like in the morning and stuff. And I haven't been reading much or doing much of anything. I just have been in bed. So I just figured, you know what, bring the camera over. That's what we're feeling today. Okay, camera, please focus in on me. Stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. We're struggling today, huh? Okay. I guess the camera and I were struggling today. Point is, I didn't do any reading of Dragon Fruit like I hoped for, so that's unfortunate. But we'll see if I even start tomorrow. Will I be able to finish it tomorrow? I mean, if I really read it like all day, because I really do want to finish one more book for this vlog, but I don't even know. Don't know if that's gonna happen. But you know what? It's fine. Just like this camera is struggling to focus in on me. It's fine. We're here. I'll update y'all for the vlog, and I think I'll close it out either tomorrow or like Monday morning. Either way, we're ending this vlog pretty soon, so I'll talk to you all later. Salutations, y'all. Today's Sunday, so I did read the required, I think, 4 hours and 1 minute for today. And honestly, if I started this book sooner, I probably would have finished it already. But it's fine. It's fine. I actually finished the book today, but it was for the dedicated reading vlog. And then I started Dragon Fruit. In fact, I read so much of this book today. And I was only reading this book for the when I actually did my timer. I was only reading this book, and I managed to get to page 221, y'all. This book, I am flying very, very fast. This writing style is very easy, and the font is really big, and the margins are pretty much larger than usual, at least for when I do read books. So it has made this reading experience really easy for me to flip through the pages. However, I'm not really loving this story, honestly, which is really sad. I don't even know what this synopsis is. So pretty much what is this book about? So we have Hanale, who was exiled because of what her father did 10 years ago about stealing a sea dragon egg, which is the dragon fruit, to save her life. But we have the princess of this island here, this kingdom, who's in like this kind of comatose state, basically. So Hanale is trying to acquire dragon fruit to help save the princess and stuff. And then we also follow Sam, who is the princess's son. So he's like the grandson of the queen now, and it's like a matriarchal society and stuff. So he can't really rule anything. So it's either that he either finds a woman to marry, or he finds a way to cure his mother. So hence the story is really just trying to find a dragon fruit in order to cure this woman. So yeah, it sounds like a nice premise and all that, but like I'm kind of getting really, really bored. I'm already like 221 pages into it, and I'm like, we're getting there with things and stuff. The plot is just not moving as fast enough as I would like, and the writing style, y'all, this writing style is really, really stale. It's not giving. It's really not giving. It's not very vivid. It's not really that descriptive. Like there's stuff that are being described and stuff, but like it's not vivid enough for me. And I know this is YA fantasy, but I have read some YA fantasies that are vivid. They give me vivid descriptions. This is not really vivid, unfortunately, which is not a writing style that I like. But at least it's not dense, and I'm able to get through the pages, so I guess that's nice and all. But also, it's also kind of repetitive, honestly. Like it's trying to like, especially since this is also dual POV, so we do get Hanale's perspective and also Sam's perspective chapters. So it does say things I'm like, wait, but we already learned this in a different person's perspective. Why are we repeating this in this person's perspective? Like, that's really annoying. So whatever. I know this is for like, again, I know this is for teenagers. So I think for some teenagers, this probably will work better for them with their brains. But for my brain, no, I don't need the repeatedness. It does not need to be that repetitive now. Even for some I don't know, maybe some teenagers might even find that annoying. I don't know. I mean, it's a fine story. It's fine. It's not, honestly, I'm just disappointed with this, honestly. And I probably wanted to DNF it, but like, I really want to read it for the Full Moon Book Club, and I haven't been keeping up with like with reading the book club picks. And also, this was one of my anticipated releases of the year that I have barely seen so many people talk about that are most anticipated. So I really want to give this a shot, but yeah, this is not quite really working out for me, honestly. I'm still going to finish reading it, though. I know today's literally the last day for this vlog, but I'm not closing it out today. I'm closing it out tomorrow. So I'm still going to continue reading this book. And so when I close out this vlog tomorrow, I'll start off with my final thoughts on Dragon Fruit. But yeah, this is chalking up to be another disappointing anticipated release. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's fine. This is the last day, and I did manage to read for the allotted time, but this vlog is not closing out today. I will literally do it Monday morning, so I will talk to y'all tomorrow with my final thoughts on Dragonfruit, and then we'll do a whole wrap-up conclusion of everything that's been read, DNF'd, all the things. So yeah, I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Alright y'all, so time for me to close out this reading vlog. So I will have to say, I think all in all, this was pretty much a huge success. I managed to finish a lot of books. So let me actually do my final review, because I just remembered that I need to give y'all my final review of Dragonfruit. And yeah, this one was just fine. It was kind of okay. It's actually kind of disappointing. Writing style, not very much helpful. Characters were fine. It was all just fine. The only thing that was like really intrigued me, that I'm like, oh my gosh, was really just the tattoo magic and the animal companions. Like, that was really the saving grace with this book. And also for the fact that I was able to read it super fast, which is nice and all, but like, I want more vividness, and it wasn't vivid enough for me. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And also the romance between Hanalei and Sam is just like, fine. It's just so fine. I'm like, okay, whatever. Y'all exist, pretty much. But yeah, the tattoo magic regarding the markings, the fact they become your animal companions. I mean, that is literally the best part of this book. I enjoyed it at least for that bit. For everything else, though, I'm like, I can really just leave it, honestly, which is really sad. So I think I'm giving this 2.5, 2.75, somewhere in between there. But yeah, it's this was a disappointing read, and I'm just gonna haul it. Someone else can have this one. It's a very pretty cover, so someone else can enjoy this instead of me. Is what it is. But anyways, that's pretty much all my thoughts on Dragonfruit, which ain't much, really. So let me just actually go on my phone here to give y'all my quick numbers here. So as far as the amount of hours I spent reading, including since there were a couple times that I did go over, but then also there was the one day that I didn't put in a timer, but I'm just putting the allotted time that I'm supposed to read to put for that, because there's no way to really check. So it is what it is. So total hours spent reading was 33.4 hours, which is a lot of time. And I managed to read like 7 books. I mean, granted, I did finish Dragonfruit literally just today, but still, y'all get the point. And then, because I also, while I was figuring out how much time I'm spending on reading, I also was trying to figure out on my phone as well, going through the settings, like, hey, how much time did I spend on my phone? Despite the fact that I've been reading, how much time was I also spending on the phone? And I was spending some time on the phone each day, but I have spent a lot less time than I've ever had on my phone before. So total hours spent is 10.98 hours. So that's about 11 hours that I've just spent on my phone for an entire week. Usually I would spend way more hours on my phone. So honestly, I'm really proud of myself that I managed to spend less than 12 hours on my phone for an entire week. That's impressive. So I gotta say, I'm kind of proud of myself for that, actually. I'm pretty proud of myself for that. And then I was able to read so many books. So yes, win-win. But yeah, let me just pretty much go over all the books that I read, so I can. Yeah, let me just go over all the books that I read. Let's see, the first book I read was 4 Ediths and a Funeral. I gave that one 3 stars. It was an advanced listening copy. It comes out June 4th. Then I read Squire. This was a 5-star read, YA graphic novel. Highly recommend this. Please, y'all, give this a shot. Then I listened to When Among Crows. This was also an audiobook. Advanced listening copy came out already. 4.25 stars, pretty good. And then via audio, I borrowed from my library The Last Fee Hunter. Didn't really like it. In fact, this really should just remain in DNF. 2 stars. Then on my Kindle here, I read an ER Last Arc Dreaming. Comes out May 21st. This one was also 4.25 stars. Really enjoyed it. And then I'm actually just gonna say what this book is. It's for a dedicated reading vlog. I genuinely have no idea which vlog is coming out first. I don't know if it's a dedicated one or this reading challenge one, but whatever. I'm just gonna say the book I was reading also throughout this week was Evocation by S.D. Gibson. There's a dedicated reading vlog for this. I'm not even gonna tell y'all my reading for this book. Just wait for the reading vlog, or if it's already out, then you already know what it is. And then last but not least, we just talked about Dragonfruit briefly, and that was 2.75 stars. And then I DNF'd 2 books. DNF'd Thunderbird at like, I forgot how far I was into it, not very far, but I DNF'd this book, so that was very unfortunate. And then I also DNF'd Dear Wendy via audio. Didn't get really far in this one either. But anyways, this is pretty much it. This is all, well, not all the books. I mean, this is what I have physically, and then I still have my Kindle and, you know, all the audiobooks and stuff. But yeah, this is the books that I read this week. Like, wow, 7 books, y'all. 7 books in about a week. That's impressive. That's practically a book a day. I'm so proud of myself that I managed to read this much. And I guess it's not the fact, I guess for me, it really isn't much of like the amount of pages I read or how many hours I'm listening to. It's really just spending time to read, just taking more time to read, and then I just read more. So like, makes sense. Does that mean I'm going to start be able to read more since I'm going to be on my phone less? I don't know about that. No promises here. However, it just shows me that I am able to read a lot more if I just take way more time off my phone and other things to just focus on reading. Thank you all for watching this vlog. I think this might be a really long one, so thank you all if you've made it this far into the video. Comment down below any of y'all's thoughts on these books. Are y'all gonna read them? Do y'all want me to do a reading challenge like this again in the future? Maybe in like sometime like this year or next year even? Like, do y'all want to see me do more reading challenge vlogs? I do like doing them. I mean, I am a Aries sun, so I do like to challenge myself a little bit. You know, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. And if you made it this far into the video, but you just want to leave me an emoji and not much else to say, you can just leave me a trophy or phone emoji down in the comments. Anyways, thank you all for coming to this video. Like if you like it, subscribe if y'all want to, and then I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!